before everybody's settled, Coach.
It's all right.
Yeah, you're okay, Coach. I've read just headlines already saying it ended, a thrilling game ended in 1-1 draw. Can you give us the impression of what happened during the course of the game?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Pravi, and to everyone. Look, it was always going to be a difficult one for the fact that we were playing against champions. We were playing against a team that had nothing to lose because they've already won the league, and it was always going to come from us as well as to now how do you approach the game, because once you play against a team that's got nothing to lose, you will always be under pressure because you're playing for 3 points. You know the importance of 3 points, and for them it was a case of let's go there, consolidate. If we get a win, it's okay. So they were more relaxed on the ball but dangerous at the same time. And I think first half we did not give them enough time on the ball. As you know, they're a comfortable team and they're dangerous when they have the ball. They have those 2 number 10s. They have actually their tactical flexibility in the final third is second to none in the country. You can see it's always difficult to blend for them because players, they're all over when they attack and they know their roles and responsibilities, in their respective positions. So, when we had, I think, the first chance, because the plan was to let's allow them to have the ball in front of us and wait for them to try and play the ball in the middle. Then we'll apply pressure on certain individuals that we knew that the chances were huge that we could maybe regain position from them when we apply pressure on them. And I think first 8 to 10 minutes, I think we had 2 chances. We had very good break attacks from those moments, and we couldn't capitalize. Which I believe could have been better if maybe we managed to punish them from those transition moments. And then as the game progressed, and then when you're playing against a team that's got players who are very good on the ball, they will train you. They box smart in the middle, and the energy levels from us dropped a little bit, and of which we expected that as soon as we give them time and space on the ball, they'll be dangerous. And I think apart from the cross that we lost the ball from Kama, Shadulil, I think first half they had nothing to, in terms of creating goal scoring opportunities. I think that's the only chance that they have, and we had great moments where we could have capitalized and we did not. And second half, I think we started very slow as well. I think we were still dreaming a little bit, and sometimes football, when you try to alert players about certain things that are happening in the game. Halftime, we told them about the diagonal passes, of which we ended up conceding from this very same diagonal, because Temba would go in and attract Njabulo and obviously create space behind Njabulo, and we tried to deal with that. First half we did that very well, but there were moments that they also could have maybe punished us, though they were not clear-cut chances. They were half chances, from those moments. So when we considered that goal, it was just lapse of concentration, because Njabulo created that space and we told him, don't go in there, let's see or one of the defensive midfielders to slot in there, and you stay with whoever is going to come from wide. I believe we could have prevented that, but we considered from that moment. And I think they took control after the first goal. When they scored their goal, they took control for about 10 to 15 minutes, because now they were obviously, like I said, they were relaxed on the ball and they were always waiting for the right moment to, and the right time to attack. And we had to make changes now to take the game to them and force them to make mistakes and also pump the ball forward, because once you allow them to play, in between, our midfielders, it was always going to cause problems for us also, and we were going to get tired. So we had to make changes and take the game to them, force them to panic and force them to make mistakes. And I think those changes were very, very positive, and we managed to create, I think, about 4 or 5 chances that could have capitalized on, and we were not clinical in front of the goals, and also the penalty that we missed. But great goal that we scored, great movement from the boys, great passing game, and that's how Kaizer Chiefs should play. And we're hoping that we'll have more time, to prepare this team. And at least this time around we'll have about 4 sessions compared to when we were preparing for other games. And just one more session, it made a huge difference, like in today's game, in terms of energy and also tactical understanding. And we're very compact and disciplined at the back. Yes, we made few mistakes, but the energy levels were good from the boys. The concentration was also good, and we can build on from today's performance.
Thank you, Coach, for that summary. Members of the media, the same rules will apply if we get the mic going.
Coach Arthur Zwane from DStv Times. Before the game, you guys, you specifically, you shared a warm embrace with Coach Steve Kompela. Just elaborate, what was that about? Because obviously you didn't go to any of the other Sundowns coaches. Do you guys share a special relationship or something like that?
Yeah, look, I have a special relationship with Coach Steve, Coach Rulani. We know each other from, we Kasi boys, we're from Soweto. So we started coaching, while I was still playing. I used to coach, I had my own team that was campaigning in the BC Municipal League. That time it was still Vodacom League. And Coach Rulani, I've seen him, growing as a young coach. So we knew each other very well, and we used to sort of share a lot of, things together. And also in terms of players, we know most of the youngsters are doing well, in and around Soweto. So we'll meet in those tournaments that are organized, in Soweto. So yeah, Coach Steve, as you know, he was my coach when I came here. He was the assistant coach to Coach Mushin, and before then, actually I knew him as one of the leaders, as was one of my favorite defenders. So from that time, I think he went on to the national team, and when I was called up in the national team with Carlos Quiroz, he was assistant to him at the time, and we bonded very well, and we became very close. And it happens that then he came and joined the club, and then the chemistry was even second to none. From that moment we shared a lot, and we were very close, and the gap between the reserve team and the first team was very close as well, because we played practice matches, we would share ideas. Actually, he played a huge role in helping me, Coach Steve. Not only him, there's many other coaches as well who played a huge role, like Bob Conti Kubeka. So, but Coach Steve, for the fact that he was the head coach here at Kaizer Chiefs, we had that relationship. Even now, we still talk, we share a lot of things, because we are all students of the game.
Thank you, Coach. And Mike is going to George. Go for it, Mazola.
Okay. Coach Mazola from SABC, if Pravina can allow me to ask a 2-part question.
No, go for it.
Yeah. The first part of it, you spoke about the positives from this game. Where was this Chiefs side all season long? I don't think a lot of us have seen the energy levels that you were talking about for quite some time. And then the second part of it, Kambule got a restart again. You've now worked with him 2 seasons in the first team, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously he's coming to the end of his contract. He was on the transfer list. Where did it go wrong? Because when he came to South Africa, he was top goal scorer in Zambia, looking like the man who would help them qualify for an AFCON or the World Cup. But we haven't seen that Kambule that was signed some 3 years ago.
Thanks for the question, big man. Look, one thing that I've learned, from football, I had to obviously do my own research about, South African players, African players, and European players, and their approach as well as to how we can help our players, to be better. And when you look at most of the Kaizer Chiefs players that we have, current squad, they had so much, individual quality, and unfortunately, we've been trying to help them, but the pressure that comes with the responsibility of playing for a team of Kaizer Chiefs caliber as well doesn't give them enough time, to find themselves and know who they are and what they are made of. And unfortunately, this is a team that we have to grind results each and every game. Now, it boils down to one thing: is you as a coach, as to how do you manage these players, how do you create competition, how do you make everyone, realize that he's playing for a team like Kaizer Chiefs and keep them on toes. And we had to do that, and also there was no way we could repeat, some of the things that were happening in the past, because like I said, we're students of the game, as myself and Coach Shepi, and we're learning every day. And I think everything that happened for a reason, and some of the things, like I said, they happened in front of us, and you can't repeat the same mistakes in terms of making sure that you manage the players, you help the players, and you keep everyone on toes, and also the energy levels, very high. So, yeah, I think with more time, I think you will see a better attacking Kaizer Chiefs, and with a little bit of consistency as well, which is something that was missing, because we don't want to have players that are afraid of losing the ball. I think that's something that was missing, because players, once they are not free to express themselves and showcase their talents, and then that means you're not going to come and watch Mamelodi Sundowns that has dominated the domestic league for so many years now, and no one will be giving them the competition that we tried to give them today. So yes, we want to continue where we left off, and hopefully this performance today will inspire these players, will inspire also those who are not part of the team, to make sure that they work hard. And you never know, football, no one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. It's very unpredictable, and yeah, we came into the game as underdogs. No one gave us a chance, even though we knew that Sundowns, they've already won the league. So, but everyone thought maybe we were going to get a hiding, and yeah, we're just showing glimpse of what we can do as a club. And yeah, I think things so far are looking good, and we'll take one step, one game at a time, and we're not going to rush into things. If it happens that we get the second spot, yes, we'll go for it. But if it doesn't happen, then we'll start planning for next season with the hope that things will change for the better.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take us
on Lazi. On Lazi, like I said, I think one of the mistakes that we've done as a club is bringing in players and not knowing how to use them. I think all the players that should join Kaizer Chiefs now, we should know why we're bringing them to the club, and how to use them, to play them to their strength, so that they can also enjoy football. And this is what a team like Mamelodi Sundowns is doing. Because if you can check their players, whether they get a player from Black Leopards or they get a player from Cape Town City, but as soon as they join Sundowns, those players, you can see they improve, because the technical staff there, they've got special people who understands their roles individually, and they are doing very well, and that is helping South African football to be better. So there should be other teams as well who who plays football, the kind of football that will bring people, to the stadium to come and watch and enjoy. Because we want all the families, when it's Chiefs, Pirates, when it's Sundowns playing, when other teams as well are playing, people should come and enjoy. They shouldn't be worried that, hey, what's the point of going to the stadium because I'm going to watch, kick and rush football and all that. People, they should enjoy. And once they enjoy, then our country also, will change for the better, will improve. And we'll also be able to develop players that can easily go and compete with the rest in the world and do well, because they'll be oozing that confidence. So far, Sundowns is the only team that is doing well with that in that aspect, I think. So I think we need to, now all of us as South Africans and coaches, try to help, because it's not only about the clubs but also about our national team. The standard of football is just, dropped, drastically, and we need to change the way we do things, and hopefully things will change for the better.
Thank you, Coach. The mic is here.
Coach Masklepe here from Power FM. I think in the previous press conference as well, you alluded to the kind of players that you should be playing for Kaizer Chiefs. And right now we've just spoken about how, for example, Sundowns gets players and they just gel in. Have you put together already maybe what you would looking to bring in for the next season? And if Mr. V can allow as well. I mean, Coach Manoba, I think on 2 occasions has spoken glowingly about you and how you are bringing up the, just coming out as a coach. What else do you think, should be done? Because you've spoken about the support that's needed. Do you feel, there's the kind of support that you need to come up and, be better as a coach?
Yeah, thanks for the question, big man. Look, I think, I don't know whether I should say I'm one of the luckiest, I'm a special breed or something, it's not quite often where you'll have so many people, supporting you and wishing you to succeed. So yeah, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, to God. And also the club, the club has invested a lot in me, and they made sure that I'm the person I am today, as a player and now as a coach. And look, it will always be difficult for me to disappoint people who are, always behind me through thick and thin. So when you look at how I started and where I am right now, it's going to be a long journey. It's going to be, a rough journey. It's not going to be easy, but we'll persevere with the kind of support that I'm getting from the club. As to whether someone's going to come in or not going to come in, still, Kaizer Chiefs comes first. And I still believe that we should have a way of playing as a club. And whoever that's going to come in is not going to come and change things. You should just do things the way Kaizer Chiefs should be doing things. And yes, we're on the right track right now. I'm getting the support from each and everyone, and from the board of directors, to people who are cleaning, So yeah, we will keep working hard. We'll keep pushing myself and Shepi, because Shepi as well, I shouldn't be taking credit alone. Shepi is very, very intelligent. He's very, he's one of the guys that respect the game. He lives and dreams. Everything is about football, Shepi. So we need those kind of young and coming coaches, to commit into the game, so that we can also live by example and learn from what Coach Rulani, Coach Mamelodi, Coach Steve, are doing, and also encourage other coaches as well, like Coach John Maduka is also doing very well, Coach Eric Tingler, Coach Barker, So it will be good for South African football. So yeah, as to who's going to be coming next season, obviously we will be working hard to get the right players to come in. We will make sure as well that we have a way that we can help these players, that they can settle in quickly, because Kaizer Chiefs is not just a team that will be playing for the sake of playing for results. We'll be playing for honors, we'll be playing for everything that will be on offer, come next season. So, yeah, whether I'll be the head coach or someone is going to come in, but I think we're on the right track right now and nothing is going to change.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take the last two, if not three, but two will try. Orange.
Coach, club captain Bernard Parker, is this his final season in Chiefs colours? He's made no secret that he wants to go into coaching as well, and is that something that the club perhaps is looking to transition himself into? And then also you've been saying week in, week out that you guys want to sign players that know the Chiefs way, that fit into the philosophy, and you don't need to force them into the team. That's been talk that Sita Konika is on his way to the club, and obviously he's an academy product of you guys. So is this the type of things you want to do and bring in more academy players, DTC players going into the future? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Big Man. Look, we as a club, we had a plan. We had a 5-year plan, and unfortunately, as I said earlier on, that if there was continuity, I think we would have been at a different level as a club right now. And unfortunately, people that came in had different ideas, and those ideas, they put us in the situation that we're in right now. As a result, we lost a lot of good talent, good talented players. Now as a club, we have to go and get those players. Not only them, because I would rather release and Robert Nausep. Was it Nausep? There were two. The right back was Nausep. No, not Osep. It was Nausep.
Nausep on
the right back.
was a
Yes.
fullback.
So yes, he was released, and they kept in the team. In the following season, that's when we had a very great season. It was an operation of the season of Operation Fatalis, and from there on, I became obviously one of the key members of the squad that season and going forward. So what I'm trying to say, I'm making an example, is I really wanted to play for the club. So we need players with that kind of attitude who will want to play for this team, not players who will come and just play or buying time or think, because we want commitment. Like I said, I used to train 4 times a day because I wanted to play for this team. Yes, today we've got different departments that also manage the players off the field and all that. But do the players in this country really love the game like we think? Or do they admire people who are playing well, who are doing well overseas? They always inspire them. But we always say action speaks louder than words. But our players, really love the game, and which is something that is missing. And we should ask ourselves to, if our players, they don't love the game, what could be the reason? Let's go and dig deeper and find out, because we have so much, talented players in this country. But I can tell you that if there's one thing that is missing in this country, is coaching. As coaching, we need to pull up our socks. There's so many good coaches. That is why we have to, give credit to coaches who are doing well, like the Sundowns coaches. And the club, as a club, Sundowns, they are doing very well to make sure that they use the local, coaches to promote the game and to improve the game. So we need to have more coaches. Then I believe after 4 years from now on, we can easily turn things around, even in our national team. Because we don't even know the damage that we have caused by playing against France in that game, where we're humiliated as a nation. And from there, even the agents, maybe from overseas, when we talk about South Africa, they wouldn't want to take any player from South Africa if that was the best that was available. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't believe in ourselves. We need to start believing in ourselves more. The country that won Nations Cup right now, it's a local coach, and the assistant coaches as well. Yes, they got few guys, with maybe different the experience from other countries, but the leader is a person who knows where these players they come from, how they were raised, the culture and so many other things. And us now, we have now doing things differently. You go back to the squad of 96, all the people, the majority and the technical staff there, it was not a fluke. Though there was no action plan, but it was not a fluke. But from there, we changed, we moved away from what we were doing right as a nation, and we find ourselves where we are right now, which is bad. And that is what I'm saying, the game that we played against France, that was not your question, but I'm just making someone, there to understand that right now we are killing our game. We went there and exposed ourselves, and all the best available players and those who are still, coming up, no one would want to have a look at them, because we went to play against France and played the way we did. But it comes from where? So that is why as coaches we have to take responsibility. We have to go there and do all get the necessary coaching licenses and come back and help our country. It's us who can do that, no one else.
That's a mouthful, Coach. If you have just a slight question, we close it.
Bennett. Yeah, look, I talk to each and every player, because we want to help them. Bennett, yes, he knows he'll never play football forever. Yes, he has hinted that he wants to, take up coaching, and I advise him, to apply for coaching courses. And yeah, there are opportunities, left, right, and center. I told him he can go to Ireland as well. That's where I got my coaching license, and he can also do, get help from SAFA, because CAF, I think now they will allow, the coaches, because of COVID now, I think everything is getting better. So yeah, we will try and help Bennett. If he wants to do coaching, most definitely we will help him, because we need more people who are influential and people who can lead by example, because he's never been a troublesome player. It's always been disciplined, and yes, tomorrow if he becomes a coach, he'll be a good leader.
Members of the media, the last question, a very short one, and the coach to respond briefly as well.
Okay, thank you, Pravina. Joseph from Far Post. Coach, you've been speaking a lot about the identity, the Kaizer Chiefs way of playing. Would the club be in better hands under someone who has been here before, for long, part of the club, as opposed to bringing, let's say, a coach from Europe? Do you feel the club would be in better hands with someone who's been here before? Thank you.
Thanks for the question, Bramto. Look, as I said, Bramto, we need to empower our own people. Let's start there. We have to empower our own people. We have to groom our own coaches. We have to end team like Kaizer Chiefs, the Pirates, and as you can see, there's Coach Fakru there, there's Coach Manta there. Just a little bit of patience. Things will change for the better. But also, even this side as 5, we have good coaches that can come and help Kaizer Chiefs. Why not? Local coaches, I think they can, because they understand where these players come from. We're dealing with sensitive issues here in this country, and a lot of people, they take those things for granted. They don't know where these boys come from. And I can tell you, we have so many challenges as a nation, let alone that just life in general. So you have to know where these boys come from, and you find that from the development, I can tell you what I've experienced from the development, you're dealing with players that they've got issues with their ancestors, and you can take that for granted. So if you don't have that background and that experience, you take that for granted. You'll always say, no, this boy is a problem, this boy, you understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's key that we need to understand the culture. I don't have a problem if we get someone from Europe who will come here, but then adapt, not to come and change the way we want to do things. Because if he's going to change the way we want to do things, those people, they don't have challenges of ancestors and many other things that are happening in their lives. Like an African boy. There's so many things that are happening, like I'm saying, behind the scenes. Some of the boys, you see, they're misbehaving, but as soon as they do something, like a ritual, something at home, to pay respect to the elders and all that, then things, they change for the better. And those are the things that we take for granted. And I'm not saying let's not do those things, or we should do those. No. and not do those things. But I'm saying, let's know where we come from. Before we can think about competing with the rest in the world, let's know who we are. Let's dig deeper and find out, where do we come from? Let's know our roots. Those people, they know where they come from, and they apply everything correctly. Us, now, we're adopting things that are not ours. We are based in South Africa. Before you can think of dominating in Europe, dominate the African continent first. Then you can, but do the things the right way. Remember where you come from. That's all. So right now, we can't just have players who come to training when you don't know whether he has 18 or from it. I'm talking about now the development. And coming to the first team, how do we manage them when now they're getting paid? Are they looking after their family members? You understand what I'm saying? Because that's where you get those, you get blessings, and all the people. Yes, some you pay black tax. You are bound to pay it, because you remember you are a member of the family that everyone looks up to at that moment. So we have to, because there's peer pressure. There's so many. It's a lot. So that is why it's key that we have coaches that understands where these players come from.
Coach Arthur Zwane, members of the media, let Mother's Day be every day. Have a good night and travel safe. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, sir.